Today I want to talk to you about finding peace in today's storm. In Psalm 46, verse 10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." How do you find peace when the world around you seems to be spinning out of control? Have you ever felt like you're running a race you never signed up for? Deadlines chasing you, notifications screaming for attention, the noise of life getting louder every day? We live in an age of hurry. Everyone is moving, scrolling, searching, reacting. But in the middle of all this motion, there's a quiet voice that whispers, "Be still." It's such a simple command, yet it feels almost impossible to obey. Be still when there's so much to do? Be still when the bills are piling up, when the anxiety won't leave, when your prayers seem unanswered? Be still when silence feels like defeat? And yet, that's the invitation. Psalm 46 wasn't written in peaceful times. It wasn't penned from a beach house or a quiet retreat. It was written in chaos, when nations were at war, when kingdoms were collapsing, when the ground beneath people's feet was giving way. Be still, in Hebrew, comes from the word rapha, which literally means to let go, to relax, to stop striving. It's not passive, it's not laziness, it's surrender. To be still is to release your grip on control, to stop fighting battles that only God can win. And isn't that where most of our stress comes from? Trying to fix things we can't control, trying to plan outcomes that aren't ours to decide, trying to hold the whole world together when we were never meant to carry it. God says, let go. I've got this. Imagine standing at the edge of a lake early in the morning. The water is perfectly calm, reflecting the sky like a mirror. But the moment you throw a stone in, ripples distort the reflection. Our minds are like that water. When we're restless, anxious, or constantly reacting, we can't reflect God's peace or hear His voice clearly. But when we slow down, when we stop the inner noise, something sacred happens. Clarity returns. Faith strengthens. Peace replaces panic. Maybe that's why Jesus Himself often withdrew to quiet places. He wasn't escaping, He was aligning. Even the Son of God needed stillness to reconnect with the Father. So what about you? When was the last time you allowed yourself to be still, not for distraction, but for devotion? Not to scroll, but to sit with God. Sometimes we think peace means the absence of problems. But Psalm 46 doesn't say, be still because your problems are gone. It says, be still and know that I am God. That's the difference. Peace doesn't come after the storm. It comes in the storm, when you recognize who's in control. Think about the disciples on the boat with Jesus. The storm was raging, waves crashing, wind howling. They panicked, but Jesus slept. And when they finally woke Him up, His words were simple: "Peace, be still." The sea obeyed Him. And perhaps He's still saying the same thing today. Not just to the storm around you, but to the storm within you. Maybe the waves in your mind have been tossing for too long. Maybe you've tried everything, planning, praying, worrying, and still nothing feels settled. Maybe, just maybe, this verse isn't just an invitation, it's a command for your healing. The second part of the verse, "and know that I am God," is the anchor. It's what makes stillness possible. You can't rest if you don't trust the one you're resting in. To know that He is God is to remember who He is, the Creator who holds galaxies and details together, the Shepherd who leaves the 99 to find you, the Provider who multiplies loaves when there's not enough, the Comforter who whispers peace when words fail, the Savior who calms seas, silences storms, and never breaks his promises. When you know that kind of God, when you really know him, stillness becomes strength. Because you realize you're not the one holding everything together. He is. Today, try this. Find 5 minutes. Turn off the music, silence your phone, and just sit. No agenda, no performance, just stillness. Breathe deeply. Repeat quietly in your heart, "Be still and know that I am God." Let the words sink in like warm sunlight through clouds. Let your heartbeat slow. Let your thoughts settle. You'll notice something. The world won't end because you paused, but your soul might begin to heal because you did. This is what peace feels like. Not the absence of problems, but the presence of God. So how do we find peace in Psalm 46, verse 10? By accepting that peace isn't something we chase, it's someone we trust. Peace isn't an escape, it's an encounter. When you surrender control, when you let go of what you can't change, when you stop striving to prove and simply choose to believe, that's when you'll hear it. A whisper stronger than fear, a stillness louder than chaos, a presence that fills the room and quiets your soul. And maybe, just maybe, that's the voice that's been waiting all along. Be still and know that I am God. Maybe that's all you needed to hear today. Thank you.